to go with Henry, is that based on more what you saw in practice or more the fact that he had snaps in a real college football game?
Yeah, no, Eric, he's the second string quarterback. We've said that for the last 3 weeks. And so that decision was made based on practice reps and reps throughout August. And we thought he had put himself in that position and earned the right to take those reps with the twos. And I thought Henry came in and played well. I think, there was some, early in the game was maybe a little rushed in terms of his timing, but I thought he really slowed down. The game slowed down for him. He threw some balls in some tight windows, made some good decisions. He made some really good checks and scrambled. I thought he came in and played well.
Go to Carlos Silva.
Hey, Coach, just kind of speaking on Henry, just typically when you bring in a backup quarterback, sometimes the offense isn't, I guess maybe it's simplified. Did you really have to change much when he came in? And I guess what did you like of him in that second half where, like you said, he slowed it down a little bit?
Yeah, Carlos, we didn't change. We didn't alter the offense any. Henry's been in this offense for 3 years now, so he knows it. He's practiced it, since he's been at Tech. So, the things that I like are what I just mentioned. I thought he took control. I thought he handled the checks. David gave him a lot of checks. We didn't alter the game plan any for him, and I thought he handled it pretty well.
In terms of Xavier White, what did you like from him, especially with his kind of coming out party, so to speak? You guys obviously know the talent, but to see him step in, get that hot hand late in that second half.
Carlos, what was the question? I lost you at the beginning.
Xavier White, if you could just speak to his second half performance, his coming out party.
Yeah. Xavier, he was going to be the second tailback. We made that decision this week for this game. I think we have talented tailbacks behind Sir Roderick, all three of those guys. He was the guy that's going to get the second set of carries, and he really got hot. And then I think we rode him for a little bit, and that's really a credit to our offensive line and Travis Kuntz. I thought they blocked well coming out of halftime and really paved the way. But Xavier did some nice stuff. He had some good vision stuff. He made a couple nice cuts, and you saw a little bit of the home run speed he had there at the end.
Go ahead, Don.
Matt, you take the lead 21-17 with about 11 minutes left in the game. From your perspective, how did it unravel, so to speak, after that? And what kind of a plan do you have to get this team to get over the hump?
Yeah, I don't think it unraveled, Don. I think they scored one time, and then we drove it down and obviously had the interception in the end zone. And then we get them to 3rd and 6, and we bring the house because we know that if they get the first down on 3rd and 6, that is really, really close to 2 minutes and 4 seconds. And at 2 minutes and 4 seconds, you can basically kneel the ball out with no timeouts. And at that point, we didn't have any timeouts. So, that's what happened at the end. I don't think it unraveled. We allowed a touchdown, and they drove it down and scored. And we drove it all the way back down and obviously didn't score. And that's the ball game. That's a one-score game.
We'll go back to Eric Kelly.
Figured you might have told us already if you did, but any update on Allen from what you've heard? Obviously, he came out and tested that leg right before the second half.
Yeah, not yet, Eric. I haven't really spoke to the doctors. I think they're going to x-ray it tomorrow and kind of see exactly where he's at.
Go ahead, Don.
Well, do you have an MRI on that too? Or
say that again, Don?
Would he have an MRI on that injury also?
Probably.
Yeah. How much difference is there between Allen and Henry now that Henry has played? And of course he had played in 13 games at Utah State, but from what you had seen, how close are those two now that Henry has some game experience and here at Texas Tech?
Yeah. Don, in terms of what, like, how close are they in terms of?
Capability to lead this team.
Oh, I think Henry's very capable. I think he showed it today, and I think he played well being put in the situation. I think Alan Bowman can lead this team. I think both of them are good leaders, and when you play well and you produce, then, I think you earn the right to lead. And obviously the quarterback's a natural leadership position, but I think they both absolutely have those characteristics.
Go back to Carla.
Coach, I know you alluded to it with the defense, but just speak to what they were able to do in that second half. And I know obviously that there was that one play where they had the big, I believe it was 60-plus yard gain before they had that 4-yard touchdown. But I guess just how did they play in that second half, and what have you kind of seen just with them being able to play together, so to speak, and not?
Yeah, Carlos, I think we bounced back. I didn't think we played real sharp in the first half on defense. I didn't think we were very physical. In the front seven, I think we're better than that. I think we came out at halftime a little bit more determined. But the one play you alluded to, we got to make the tackle. We went for the strip, and we can't do that. We got to get a guy down. We're down about the 40-yard line. You kind of got to live to play another down in terms of that. But I did think we came out in the second half and played a lot more physical. We were aggressive. We were challenging routes, whereas I don't think we did that in the first half.
Go to Jarrett Johnson.
Hey, Coach. 2 weeks in a row, the special teams had a punt blocked, a couple missed field goals. What's going wrong with special teams right now?
Well, those two areas aren't real good right now, Jarrett. I think our kickoff coverage was good. I think we did a nice job. I mean, I think all the other areas are pretty solid, but the two obvious ones are we got to make field goals, and we got to protect for a punter. We absolutely can't give up those, blocked punt. And so got to go back in. We got to reassess it from personnel to scheme. And, we'll go in and grind on that. But absolutely two areas that we got to get better at.
Go ahead, Don.
Matt, obviously closing out games has been something that you said this team has to do better. And the last 2 weeks, you've had big opportunities to do that and have not been able to pull it out. What's going through your mind right now about what steps you can take to finish these off and get W's?
Yeah, Don, it's a great question. I respect that question. That's my number one question right now for myself and for our staff. And, both games are different. They look different. They felt different, but it's oftentimes it's plays that lead before the end of the game. It's not often always that last 3rd and 6 call or the last play on offense. It's plays that were not made leading into it, like maybe some of the stuff that Jarrett just brought up. So it's a good question. We're looking for those answers, Don. To win those close games, because we know we're going to certainly be in them. And so, it comes down to, as coaches, putting our guys in the right position during the week and making our best calls. And then it's down to the players for making plays when the opportunities are presented. It's on both, and we all own it. We all own it together, and we'll get it fixed together.
All right, we'll finish up with one more from Don.
And going back to
Dowdy's got you muted, Don. Just a second, Don.
okay.
No, I got you now.
Okay. Going back to the play where Henry throws for TJ to the end zone. It was 3rd and 5 at the 28. And this is 2020 hindsight, clearly, but the fact that it was 3rd and 5 and that you had success, had found something with Xavier running the football, could that have been 2 down territory there where you run it to try to either a run for the first down on 3rd and 5, or B, make it 4th and 1 where 4th and 1, 4th and 2 where you have a makeable 4th down?
Yeah, it sure could have been. Yeah, and I mean, we'll all be in hindsight 2020 done. You know, and I think we'll all look at those calls, and I think that your point's valid, and it sure could have been.
All right, that'll do it for Coach. We'll be back with players here in just a few minutes.
Thanks, guys.
We'll start with questions for Henry, and we'll start with Carlos Silva.
Hey, Henry, I guess the first question would be is obviously when you came in, did you feel like you had enough preparation going into this contest with so many guys going in and out? Or I guess what was your thought process when you did get called to be into the game? Hey, Matt, I don't hear him.
Gotcha.
There we go.
Yeah, I was saying, preparation wise, it's something that we work on, something that we've worked on since summer, since I originally came over here. And, with my history, I backed up Jordan Love, quarterback at Utah State for a couple of years. So I think being prepared is something that I've definitely developed over the years, learning how to prepare for games as the backup quarterback. So I don't think preparation phased me or any of the offense at all.
So when you came into this contest, did you feel like the game plan was changed a little bit for you at all, or was it kind of the same thing? And I guess how comfortable were you when you were called in to either make some throws or make some checks or things as Coach Wells had talked about earlier?
No, I don't think that the offense changed at all. Me and Alan Bowman, we push each other to get better every day. We're really good friends at the same time, and this is an offense that I've run for a few years now. And I'm comfortable with all the calls, all the checks, and all things of that nature.
Go to Eric Kelly.
Henry, for I guess some of us who have never been in this type of situation, coming off the bench, cold to a certain perspective, what's the, I guess, biggest challenge in coming into a game where you didn't start and there's already a score and maybe you come in on a third down and things of that nature?
I think the biggest challenge in that type of scenario is just getting a rhythm. First few drives we had some things going, but I couldn't get us to finish into the end zone. So I think just getting my rhythm early is important, and that kind of developed over the game as the game went on.
Go back to Carlos Silva.
Along those lines, Henry, what did you feel you needed to do to get yourself in sync or in rhythm or comfortable? And when did you was there a play or anything that you felt that really kind of made you feel like, okay, I'm okay now?
I think just getting that first completion, whether it's on first down or the first pass call, I think that's really important to get the drive started. I don't think there was any moment where it was like an aha moment. I'm ready. I feel like do the preparation, the coaching, and I'm always ready. But I think just getting that first completion is very important.
Back to Eric Kelly.
How much, how nice is it to kind of have that safety blanket of a successful running game? Obviously, Texas Tech known for its ability to air it out, but you guys had a lot of success with both SaRodorick and Xavier behind you.
Yeah, SaRodorick and Xavier, they're really good running backs. They work hard, and when you have guys that you can depend on like that, it makes the throwing game easier. It brings up the backers. Safeties bite down more. So that's, as you can see today, it was really effective in the run game, and it really opened up a lot of lanes for the passing game as well.
Go ahead, Carlos.
Just got two more questions for you, Henry. First off, I guess, what did Alan kind of tell you when you did know that you were coming in, and after that, making that comeback late on, taking the lead? I guess what were the emotions after that?
Yeah, I mean, when I saw Alan grab his ankle, you know, I immediately started warming up. You know, that's just instincts. You know, football, it's an emotional game. There's a lot of ups and downs. You know, when we took the lead, obviously everybody very excited, but we did know that there's still a lot of time left. We had to go finish, and we couldn't put it away, but we'll bounce back from that.
Go ahead, Carlos.
Oh, and then last one from me. I guess I know obviously you've been a part of this team for the last couple games. I guess what do you feel you all need to do, or I guess other than getting that last second victory, or obviously being able to kind of close out a game now?
I don't think there's anything in specific that we need to work on. I think we just need to keep trusting our coaching, keep trusting our ability, and you know, there's tons of playmakers on this team, and we all play as a team. Everyone has each other's back, so just continuing to trust each other and just continuing to get better every day.
Go to Eric Kelly.
I know you said there wasn't like an aha moment, like you're in a groove, but do you remember about when in the game you kind of got into that groove? I mean, statistically, it kind of shows it a little bit. And for us who are the less athletic, what does it feel like to kind of be in that groove? Does it feel like every pass, you know, is just going to be on the mark?
Yeah, you know, when I think it's just you really know when you're in a rhythm when you can kind of tell what the defense is going to. You know what's going to be open. You're checking the right plays, and I think that in that third quarter, really, when we started driving the ball down, obviously with the run game, as I said, helped so much. Just being able to continue to get completions, you know, not always going for touchdowns, just continue to get completions. And I just think that the third quarter really picked up for me as a quarterback and the offense as well.
All right, we'll finish with Don Williams.
Henry, can you tell us how the two touchdown passes that you threw, how those plays unfolded from your point of view?
Yeah, so the first one, I believe it might have been third down. You know, I saw that they were going to some sort of man, either cover 0, cover 1. And I mean, I like the matchup inside, had a corner route from the number 3 receiver, Keyshawn Carter. You know, it's a spot throw, so I put it to the pylon, and, you know, he had a great release, great route. He's a great player. And, you know, the receivers like that, they just make it easy for us quarterbacks, you know. And then for the second touchdown, it was to Miles Price. It was a run pass option, and I felt the backer sitting under the inside post a little bit, but I knew if I, you know, held it in there that Miles will be able to get behind him. You know, he's a really explosive receiver, and he was wide open, made it real easy for me.
All right, thanks, Henry. We'll be back with Xavier White here in just a second. All right, we'll start with questions. And we will go to Don Williams.
Xavier, what kind of rhythm and flow did you get into today?
Really just following my blocks and then just finishing my runs hard and just keep doing that and just stay on my track and then just finishing my run hard.
Go to Carlos Silva.
Xavier, I got a couple questions. I guess first one, I know football is a game of ups and downs. I guess what was the feeling when you saw Allen kind of holding his leg going to the sideline, and what was it like afterward when you kind of realized that you guys were finally getting into rhythm in that third quarter?
I mean, when Allen went down, it was kind of frustrating moment for me. He's kind of our leader, and just Like it just kind of hit me. But I mean, Henry's been preparing real hard in practice. We put him in there and he gets his reps and he does a good job. And I just had a good feeling that we wouldn't be worried about having the quarterback situation.
Go ahead, Carlos.
And then I guess just that third quarter, I guess what was that like where it seemed like everything you guys were doing was working, the tempo was good. Obviously you were running the ball pretty well. What were you seeing on the field at that point?
Just seeing on the field, just if I run hard, it'll open up other things. And that's exactly what I was doing. Just make sure that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do and finishing my runs. And if I do that, other things will open up for my team.
Go back to Eric Kelly.
Xavier, I got two for you. First one, running into the end zone, feel a little different from the backfield, or does it feel about the same coming out of a route?
It feels a little different. Just that touchdown I had was pretty exciting. Just I seen they was all up on the line, and then from that I knew I just had to hit that hole and then just make that safety miss.
And for you, coming from wide receiver to running back, to make the progression from switching positions to now kind of asserting yourself, at least this week, as the number 2 guy behind Sir Roderick, where's the biggest area you're better as a running back now than maybe when you started at that position?
Really just reading my keys from the D-line and following my track and just hitting the hole mainly.
Go to Don Williams.
Xavier, did you know going into the game, or was there a plan that you were going to get a couple of series like that? Were you going to stay on the field for a good stretch?
No, honestly, I wasn't expecting that. As soon as I started running the ball, I got hot, and then just Coach Smith just feel I just needed to be on the field because I'm making plays.
Yeah. And what did y'all see? Because so many of those, obviously, so much of your success was coming right up the middle. What did y'all see there that enabled that all the those holes to materialize?
Really just reading off the D lineman, and then the O lineman work up to that one little middle linebacker, and I just follow the track and then make the play from there.
All right, that'll do it for Xavier. We'll close with Zach McPherson here in just a second.
Daddy, I'm assuming you want me to ask a question. You're muted, though, so I can't really hear y'all in terms of what you want us to do.
Go ahead, Eric.
Okay. Zach, for you guys as a defense, where do you think that biggest improvement has come from week 1 against Houston Baptist to now that's allowed y'all's points given up to just keep decreasing?
Honestly, I'll say our intensity and our mindset. From week 1 to week 2, we made a big jump in emphasizing in practice that we just wanted to keep our mental intensity high and, do the little things right. And that's how we tried to translate it to the field these past few weeks. And it's been working for us. We just got to keep closing that space and just keep getting better, because that's all we can do.
Go to Carlos Silva.
Zach, in terms of the defense, as Eric kind of alluded to, how much has it helped that you guys have kind of played together, and what was it like to have DeMarcus on the field and just kind of have his leadership and experience there?
Yeah, just having DeMarcus back was a good thing for us. Coming back to practice this week, he's been here for a while. He's definitely one of the leaders of the defense. and just have his presence out there, it was good, and it helped the defense as a whole.
Go ahead, Carlos.
In terms of what it kind of affects the defense on, or if it does, obviously there's highs and lows, but what were your all's thoughts when you did see Allen kind of go down and you kind of knew that there were going to be some changes, and what was that third quarter like where you guys had the big highs where you made the comeback and then eventually you did take the lead and make some big stops?
So when Allen went down, we knew, even going into the game before he went down, we knew that this game was going to come down to the defense getting turnovers and takeaways. And when Allen went down, we just started emphasizing it more, because we knew that if we could get a takeaway on defense and potentially set up the offense for a score, or even get a score off the takeaway, it would have helped. That it would have changed the whole scheme of that game. And that's really what our mindset was just when Allen went down.
Go to Don Williams.
Zach, what do you feel like this team has to do to get over this hump where you can close out games in the fourth quarter?
I would say when it comes to during the week, it has nothing to do talent-wise and stuff like that. It's just us as a whole just looking in the mirror and just, even during the week, just taking everything like it's a game, and not taking anything lightly, because we're just at this point where we just have to understand that majority of our game is going to be a close game. So if we just practice hard and keep a high intensity and not let our mental mindset stray away from what the goal is, we got a lot of potential. So that's what I think it is.
Go back to Eric Kelly.
Hey, Zach, when you guys spend all week preparing for Skylar Thompson, then he goes out with an injury, is there an adaptation that you guys have to make when you have a new quarterback, especially one that you don't have any tape on?
Yeah, for sure. But we knew that quarterback was he was a little bit younger, inexperienced, but we gotta respect everybody. So we definitely knew we had an edge, but you never know in this league. So we knew we had a one-up, though, because he wasn't really looking to go vertically down the field as much as Skylar Thompson was. He was looking to just, dump some passes off here and there and run it a little bit like Skylar. So that's all we knew on him.
All right, that'll do it for today. Thanks, Zach.
Thank you, guys.
If you'll need anything, please let us know. Thank you.